college, about second year. I think when I was transitioning from sophomore to junior, when I first went to community college, Cerritos College, that's where I first heard the story of Plato's allegory of the cave. And the teacher, the philosophy teacher, was so excited about telling us, and he was looking at me straight in the face, because that was the time war on Iraq was starting up after the war on Afghanistan. So I guess I was seeing through the lies, but everybody around me in college, they they were scared of me and my speech. So he was trying to warn me about this. How when you try to come out of the cave, the people who are still in the cave always want to keep you in. And they'll kill you if they know that you've gone outside the cave. As a preface to understanding, I think it necessary to go through the standard phases of waking up. So I have a song called Wake Up, back when I was heavy into Alex Jones and Alan Watt. And there's 3 different phases of waking up, just like the 3 doshas of Ayurveda. So first is Kapha or structure, second is Pitta or transformation, and the third is Vata or communication. So the individual in the first phase, the prodromal stage of the disease, according to medicine, the psychological disease of the slave trying to awake and get out of their bed, their slave matrix pod, An individual vaguely perceives something is wrong in his or her life. That reminds me of what Morpheus tells Neo when he first meets him and starts to wake him up with the red pill. This something wrong with his life takes the form of fatigue at trying to keep up with real or imaginary crisis. The 2020 saw a lot of people suffer fatigue trying to keep up with the imaginary crisis. The encroachment of government into every aspect of life, increasing taxation, and so on. Now people are bitching about the gas prices. Sometimes it takes the loss of work and the realization that the safety net they contributed to has a gaping hole in the middle. I knew this, but I kind of got comfortable and secure with my work, and thought it was a safety net, I guess. Even work is not a safety net, because that's just the Trump, a little bit of Trump America, great America. So they could really bring us to our knees, bring us high, and bring us back to the gaping hole in the middle. Number 2, so the Pitta stage, the transformation stage. So they realize that there's something wrong in his or her life. The individual discovers that justice is a joke and that all control mechanisms go up like a pyramid, taking their property, taxes with it, etc., all the wealth. So just like all the work I did at Toastmasters, building my reputation, building my brand, I guess, as a teacher. But they framed me with 1 or 2 little incidents, and I had discovered that justice was a total joke, and they were just looting me the whole time. All the information I shared about myself, my views, my beliefs, my weaknesses, and my social awkwardness, that was all used against me from the information they learned from me supposedly building myself. Anyway, this wealth is then distributed to help bail out. You know, they used to tell me I was so privileged and fortunate and rich. So it's only right that my wealth is distributed to help bail out or prop up failing transnational corporations. So I remember my mentor was trying to bail out all those poor veterans who only get all the fucking best jobs and the best fucking status in society. But, oh no, they're killing themselves because of PTSD, so we gotta take all your wealth to help bail them out. Those fucking greedy psychopaths. Half of them are fucking liars trying to get free money. Like that faggot, Gaylord, I mean. Leftovers are channeled via overseas, so they build up the failing transnational corporations, and whatever's left over is channeled via overseas development corporations to developing nations. We're hearing all these things in the news about how our money is going to Iran or to China and so forth. Where the loot is pocketed by frontmen, dictators, and their bureaucrats. So all the inner club, the inner boys club, they get all the loot that's left over. After our overlord corporations or our masters are replenished and renewed. So the crumbs filter down to social services, which, after being guzzled by directors and staff, leave little for the needy, except bundles of forms, in triplicate, of course. So all you get from their social services is a bunch of jumping through hoops, pretty much. Whole lot of hoops and no fucking reward. Kind of like the bitches at the club. So that was the transformation phase. He realizes that there's nothing out there for him. After the first stage of starting to doubt the safety net of society that he's being looted for. Number 3, the communication stage. The prodromal stage, the dromal stage, and the post healing phase, I guess. This is the healing phase, but niggers don't matter in America. So the Vata dosha has been suppressed in this great land of the West because they have been tightly structured in the first phase. So not many get to go to the third phase. In the third phase, the individual looks around for others already exposing the conspiracy. These established champions inform him which conspiracy books to read. So there's already established champions out there guiding him towards certain books and certain ideas. Nowadays it's all memes. That's how people get their fucking mental stimulation. Other than the drudgery at work, which is more like mental retardation. Having then read those books, the individual begins to expose the corruption. First to friends, then, when friendless, he either publishes what he has gleaned or becomes paranoid and withdraws from society altogether. So the bitch who fired me from San Bernardino School District, she said, "Oh, don't say this stuff to the general public." Oh no. Say it to your friends and family. So I figured, yeah, why not? Because at least it's safer that way, and you have more chance to reach them. But unfortunately, I became friendless, and my family has become less friendly too. Alright, so I'm pretty much withdrawn from society again, and I'm been labeled as paranoid, and have published what I have gleaned, and I've become friendless. So I've already gone through these 3 stages at least 2-3 times in my life. Probably 4 times actually. 2005, 2008, through 2012, again 2019 or 18, whatever. Yeah, man. So many times. Four times already. Why does the waking up process, so that was the individual level, the phases of waking up. Now on the societal level, why does the waking up process fail to spread quickly through society? That's what everybody wonders when they're new to the red pill or the black pill. Because the black pill is never gonna be swallowed by all of society. Only special Shivas out there have the neck power to swallow or hold the pill. Because you're not supposed to swallow it, it will kill you if you completely swallow it. Because it's supposed to destroy the whole world. So anyway, the black pill, why does it fail to spread through the society? Because the individual is terribly naive. He believes the massive corruption just happened to begin in his own lifetime. Like the people talking about feminism, they think everything was peachy before. So the massive corruption they think just happened in his own lifetime. Otherwise, mommy or daddy or teacher would have warned him. It does not occur to him that the parents, teachers, etc., were as conditioned as he was. So they don't realize these different levels. They haven't, most people haven't. They're terribly naive. They haven't really self-critically analyzed the stages that people go through and that people are in at different periods, at different parts of their life, and so forth. And most people do not wish to know. Number 2, they, like farm animals, have been domesticated. Wild animals or original humans have, or the Adam and Eve, have natural instincts, or before they were Adam and Eve, have natural instincts of self-preservation. They sense the evil intentions of predators, and they survive by trusting their own instincts. It's kind of like the bitches I've met throughout my life, especially the white American bitches. They're the most domesticated. They seem to always be afraid of me because I'm like a stranger from a different culture, and I look like a terrorist. That doesn't help. So they don't really have the natural instincts to know what human character and who's a good person and who's a bad person anymore, because they were forced to trust people who were bad for them growing up, like in school and stuff. So their wild instincts were beaten out of them, and now they don't have the self-preservation instincts. So even though I'm a good guy, they are brainwashed to think I'm a predator because of feminism. And that's how I see it. So because the real evil guys, as we all know, they tend to get more girls than we do. So anyway, they definitely don't have the self-preservation instinct because they get used so easily. So the wild animals, they sense the evil intentions of predators, and they survive by trusting their own instincts. Yep. I was pretty much trapped in that club. I knew they were bad for me, but eventually I kind of got domesticated, kind of not trusting my own instincts, I guess. And wild herds do not hang around. See, I was hanging around. Wild herds do not hang around when one or more members drops dead. So all my other brothers were kind of dropping out of the club and not happy. And I shouldn't have been hanging around. I should have been more vigilant. But I was a specially bred sheep, I guess. Toastmasters. So I was a specially bred sheep, so I did hang around. Anyway, so I guess, yeah, I did not wish to know at that point. And then I was also terribly naive, because I kind of expected people to warn me if there was some, obvious shenanigans and trickery going on. But people didn't care to tell me, or they just try to make fun of me. That's the only way I clued in that something was wrong. Anyway, the Pavlovian conditioning response indoctrination has been fed to every individual via cartoons through schooling. So the conditioning and response indoctrination, we have been fed via cartoons and through school, and then media throughout the rest of our life. And people's opinions are simply sound bites from news, talk shows, or quotes from glossy magazines. So, if I say we shouldn't trust groups of people, then because people have been trained to basically see that as a terrorist ISIS opinion of a dangerous person. So if I say, most people are bad or you shouldn't trust organizations, then that triggers their Pavlovian conditioning. And instead of asking you questions like, what do you mean? That's a strange kind of belief. What do you exactly mean you shouldn't trust organizations? How do you get through life without trusting organizations? And questions like that. But no, they want to label it, they want to just be shocked and, act like you're like now a terrorist now, behave like that. That's how they behave. That's because their opinions are just like, some person who doesn't think critically, they'll counter that idea with something like, oh, but Mahatma Gandhi said that service to others helps you grow or helps you find yourself better and stuff like that, So that's just not a false flag, but like a straw man argument or an appeal to kind of emotion even. Appeal to authority too. So yeah, their opinions are not really theirs because they don't know how to think. And number 4, trust replaces the instinct of self-preservation. Yep. That's what happened to me too. Trust. I started trusting those people I saw every week. Trust replaces the instinct of self-preservation. It overrides memory and logic. This is a normal human, weakness, I guess, in our current society, but I think the psychopaths are the weakness. They're going to kill us all, because they're not responsible. Anyway, trust replaces the instinct of self-preservation, overrides memory and logic. Because you're not thinking critically when you're in your own environment, when you're in what you think is a known environment that you are on top of. You start to trust, and then you're not in constant fear anymore. And it's hard to live like that all the time. So anyway, the trust overrides the memory and the logic. That's how people get in abusive relationships too, because of the trust replaces the instinct, and then they lose their memory powers and their logic strength. And controllers and shepherds encourage trust. So like my mentor, more like a tormentor, fucking Toastmaster. He was a controller and sheep herder. So they were encouraging my trust. Just get married, they said. You can trust these bitches even though they're hiding everything from you that matters. And treating you like shit at the same time, showing their true character. Anyway, when threatened with loss of possessions, property. So anyway, and then, yeah. And then the last stage, it's pretty grave. The black pill, like I said, it will destroy society. Because if we don't have trust, then we're living like animals, always like birds, always looking out or watching our back. Hungry all the time, thirsty and starving. Dying, half of us dying in wars and shit like that. And really brutally. Most people do not wish to know. Terribly naive, red pill people. And Pavlovian conditioning and indoctrination, and then trust instincts. And then also then there's the threats of the wolves, the black dogs of the military, the black operations, I guess. Running black thoughts, dark thoughts into your life. When threatened with loss of possessions, property, access to healthcare, etc. They threatened that in 2013 for me. Property issue, and they never let me have any. Possessions, same. Not for long. Oh, wow. People turn to government predators for help and or organized religion. Because they're running the whole system, they're controlling all these things, so people tend to turn to the abusers when being abused. Should an individual persist? Well, same with the bitch. She ran to the fucking controller. Anyway, should an individual persist in pushing for his rights? Should an individual persist in pushing for his rights, he will be removed from society and placed in a psychiatric hospital or prison on any number of pretexts. Like I said, at least 4 times already. 4 different periods, rather. Many different times. I was placed in these prisons and hospitals. The alternative is death by accident or shot by police while resisting arrest. That's for the real heroes. The real troublesome soldiers out on the streets. like Tupac and Biggie. Death by accident. Shoot, my car just died by accident too. Just last month. Just a few days ago. Or shot by police, right? And police came to get me. Shoot, I should have taken pictures of the car, man. And the accident. I forgot. Totally forgot that. And their ID too. Or shot by police while resisting arrest. But they probably didn't speak English, so anyway. Resisting arrest. So this is the situation. And this little poet. Hello. I'm from the government, see? I'm just like you. Why? Look at my clothes. Oh, I'm suffering too. So some faggots at the club told me. Gabe and Sam. And Chris too. Hello, I'm from the government. See, I'm just like you. Why look at my clothes? Oh, I'm suffering too. I'm just doing my job and I've been told to ask you to vacate this house or else pay double the tax. Shit, that's what they did to me in December of COVID-19, man. Kicking me out of here and there and everywhere. November. Remember. No, it was December. I don't know. Anyway. I don't wish to scare you, but I just have to tell. Should you fail to comply, they'll make your life hell. Damn, they told me this when I started getting in trouble in Rialto. after San Bernardino. They'll take your children, tie you up in court, where your money is drained, you stupid old goat. Indeed. They've got special police brutes out for a thrill, who've got machine guns and bombs. Lord, they're itching to kill. See, this is the silent weapons for silent wars. Maybe that accident was not an accident. Why look on the dark side? Life can stay sunny. That's funny. And I'm here to help you. Hand over your money. Oh man, marry me. What the bridezillas are saying nowadays. Hand over your money. Smoking in pipes, looking like grandma and shit, all pure and virtuous. Oh man, this book is dope. Peace out till the next episode.